my whole body tightens up and I just go, ah, ah, ah. There he is. I hate them. I hate the snakes, and that's a little one that can't do anything to you. When I'm in Tucson and I go by a rattlesnake on the bike at like 30, 40 kilometers an hour, and it's just too late, I see it at the last moment, my whole body just tightens up. I'm like, oh.
Whoa! Snake! Ah!
I'm so scared of snakes. Anyways, welcome back to Workout Wednesdays, installment number 5. Let's get this workout going. Maybe you're probably noticing my headphones, and I wanted to talk about these real quick because they are a safety issue. And what I mean by that, if you're wearing these and you can't hear, it could be really dangerous. And I'm really lucky where I live, there's very little cars. The main highways in my area split, and I live in the middle. So it's very rare for traffic to pass through where I am because it's a rural area. But I love to listen to stuff while I'm riding because sometimes I feel like it's a waste of time and I could be doing more with my time. So I listen to history books, podcasts, things where I could learn something. I feel I get more out of my time while I do that, but it could be dangerous. So what's amazing though is these new earphones have a hear through feature. So you can turn it on and you can hear the background. Also, what I like to do is keep the right one in and the left one out. That way I can hear the traffic. But again, I live in a rural area and there's not many cars. The day before the workout, it's really important to have a few things in check. Number 1, know the route, and why that's important. You want to stay away from cars, and in the middle of your intervals, you don't want to be hitting a stop sign or turning or hitting a downhill. Number 2, you want to check the weather. And that's for number 3, which is your kit. You want to make sure you're dressed appropriately. Being too cold is absolutely brutal. Number 4, fueling. It's really important to get the fueling down. I'll talk about all these things a little bit more in the video. What I like to do is every now and then stop and get a treat. I love butter tarts, so I'm gonna be getting a butter tart today. Make sure you bring enough food because there's nothing worse than bonking. And number 5, make sure your bike is in good working order. The drivetrain, the brakes, the tires, your tires are pumped. You bring a repair kit with you. If you're out and you have to call your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, friend, anyone, brother, sister to come pick you up, it's gonna suck. So make sure you have your repair kit and your bike is in good working order. Super important. This is a strength workout, really important. I've been doing a lot of these strength workouts with my new coach and I know it's helped me a lot. So we're gonna do an hour at 50 to 60% of your FTP. I had amazing comments in my other video pointing out that an hour could be too long, and you're right. An hour is, I do an hour, sometimes an hour and a half to get the volume. And I know a lot of people don't have that time. So 15 minutes is perfect. 15 minutes to an hour, pick whatever you want to do, whatever you're feeling that day. And then once you get that done, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into the work. And here's the first bit. We're going to do 10 minutes at 70% of your FTP, free cadence. This is basically adding to your warm-up, getting the legs firing, fat burning zone as my coach likes to call it. And then we're going to take a 5-minute break. Let's get that done and we'll get into the next part of the workout. After the 5-minute recovery, we're gonna go straight into 8 minutes at 75% of your FTP. And again, free cadence, we're just getting that fat burning, getting on the pedals in different zones. And then after that, we're gonna hit the main set. Let's get this 8 minutes done. Before we get into the main set, we need to talk about FTP. And before we talk about FTP, we need to talk about power meters. If you're doing workouts and if you want to get faster on the bike, you got to get a power meter. And I would forgo nice wheels, I would forgo a nicer bike and get the power meter. It's very difficult to do workouts without a power meter. And if like I didn't have a power meter, I probably couldn't even do these workouts. Heart rate, it's too hard in my opinion. All my workouts are based on watts, and like I said, get yourself a power meter. If you can't afford one, I would save up and just figure out how to get it, because it's a vital piece of equipment if you're trying to get faster. If you're not, and you just want to cruise around and have a good time on your bike and you're not interested in workouts, don't need a power meter. That being said, you need to have an idea of your FTP, and I don't think FTP is this all amazing number that everyone should be focused on. It's a unit of measurement, and where it's flawed is its scales. And you could have an amazing 1 minute power or 5 minute power, but your 20-minute power isn't that good, and that will affect your numbers. So if you're brand new to cycling and you're just getting on the bike, I wouldn't worry about FTP just yet, and just start pedaling around, get a feel for the watts and what you can do, and just try the workout at different numbers. Just pick a number and say, okay, this feels good, I'll try that. And you don't need to stay on a certain number. If it's too hard, back it down a bit. If it's too easy, bump it up a bit. This isn't, you know, gospel. You don't, 75%, I have to stay on it. If it's killing you, you back it down. Like I said, how do you check your FTP? There's all these different tests. There's ramp tests, there's 20-minute power tests. And in my opinion, I never do those because I think they're kind of a waste of time. Maybe I'll go belt out a 20-minute power if I know I'm gonna like beat my record. But in terms of like to figure out what my FTP is, you kind of know the more you do these workouts. You go chase a segment one day and you do 5 minutes for 400 watts. Yeah, maybe your FTP would be 340, 330, you know what I mean? So you just kind of like do different efforts and you look at your history and you kind of figure out where it would be. That's how I do it. And again, the FTP is a starting guideline. It gives you a starting point. But if you're doing these intervals and they're way too hard and you feel like you can't finish the workout, back it down. If it's way too easy, bump it up. And you can even do that within the interval, within the set. So that brings us to the main set. The main set is 5 times 2 minutes on low cadence, 60 RPM at 75% of your FTP, and then 2 minutes off. The off is like spinning 100 watts. So 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, 5 of those, and the 2 minutes on are at 75% of your FTP, seated, low cadence, 60 RPM. Let's get those done. Most of the work will be over. We have one more interval to do after that. Let's go. I sucked that butter tart back in like 30 seconds. I was so hungry. For fueling, what I go for is about 45 grams of carbs per hour. I like fig bars, bananas, whatever you like, and it's important. I think solid food is important. That's what my coach tells me. So bars, fruit, whatever you like. Like I said, throw a treat in there every now and then. This is where I eat my bad food. Off the bike, I try to keep it as healthy as possible. So after that main set, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and then we're gonna go into another 10 minutes at 65% of your FTP, free cadence, and then the workout's done and we'll do a cool down. Let's go. Just finished the 10 minutes at 65%. We're gonna take a 5-minute rest and then cool down. And you can do 15 minutes here if you want, or you can go all the way up to an hour. I'll probably do about 45 minutes, and then I'll hit the lap button and do the last 10 minutes. Super easy, like 100 watts, high cadence, spin out the legs. And I think that last 10 minutes, super easy, is really important to help promote recovery for tomorrow's ride. Let's get home and then we'll look at the stats. I'll show you how I look at the data and what apps I use to interpret it, and then just to check to make sure I hit my numbers. Let's go. I just got home, as you can probably tell by the way I look. So as soon as I get home, I just take a quick look at my ride on my phone. And we'll take a look right now. If you don't have an app for logging your training rides and looking at them and, you know, post-ride analysis and all that stuff, I would highly recommend Strava and also Training Peaks. It depends on what you're looking for, but if you're on a budget, I would go with Strava because you're able to interact with other people. It's just like Facebook. I'll open it now, and you can see here it shows my ride, and I click on it and I can see the main details: 92K, 3 hours, average speed, calories, average power, and then I can go down to workout analysis, view workout, and then it just shows my time and my average watts for each interval. If you want more information, you can go on the desktop version. It'll show cadence, heart rate, and everything like that. This is all it shows on the mobile version. But if you want something more detailed, I really love Training Peaks. And Training Peaks gives you a ton of detail. So if you click on the ride, the main screen, you go to map and graph, and you can click here and it shows you all your laps. Or let's pick the first 10 minute that we did. So you can click on it and then it shows you all the detail: average, power balance, the elevation you gained, your cadence, the minimum, the maximum, everything. And then it shows you for each lap. You can highlight sections of the ride and it gives you all that detail. Training Peaks is awesome. It shows you your yearly totals. On Strava, you're just getting elevation, cadence, temperature, power, heart rate, but you get much more detail on Training Peaks. So if you want to make that investment, but I think Training Peaks is pretty expensive. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe so you're notified for future Wednesday workout videos. I got lots of videos coming down the pipe, so please hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, please like it. Please comment. I'll see you on the next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.